Make dessert with me while I tell you about the absolute worst travel experience I've ever had. We very first went to Peru, the first and only time that we have been there. One of the places we went was called Cusco, and it's super high elevation there. I started feeling really, really sick once we were in Cusco, and we were staying in a hostel with like 8 shared people in the room, and we only had 1 bathroom. And I was thinking, it's probably just high altitude sickness. Like, I'm sure it's gonna be fine. Lots and lots and lots of people get high altitude sickness, which is weird because I'm from high elevation, but whatever. I started eating this tea that the hostel provides for travelers experiencing high altitude sickness. They call it mate de coca, and they had the leaves and stewing in the water and everything. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna have so much of this tea because I wanna feel better. I hate feeling sick when I'm traveling. So I'm drinking this tea, eating the leaves of the tea like all day long for probably 2 straight days. So then I start throwing up. And not only do I start throwing up, but when I'm throwing up is a moment when I'm also doing something else in the bathroom that was really crappy. At this point, both ends of me are in sheer agony. And my husband and friend happened to actually not be with me. They went shopping while I was staying at the hostel sick. And it was just getting worse and worse and worse. So my husband gets back. He had just got certified as an EMT. And he starts checking my heartbeat and everything, and it turns out that it doesn't sound quite right. So we decide it's probably time for me to go to the traveler's clinic and get checked out. Because at this point, I'm so miserable and so sick, and I was having chest pain. I'm making a brownie in a mug, by the way. So we go to the traveler's clinic, and the lady takes one listen to my heartbeat and calls the ambulance. So I got a lovely ambulance ride in Peru, got into the hospital, and they tested everything, and it turned out that I had salmonella, which is horrible in itself, but I also had high altitude sickness, and I had lost so many electrolytes that my heart was no longer beating as it should. So they souped me up with a bunch of antibiotics. Hang on, I have to go chop this. Anyway, so they souped me up with a bunch of antibiotics and keep me in the hospital overnight. They actually wanted me to spend another night in there, but our flight back to Lima and then back home was the next day. So I was like, absolutely not. I am miserable. I want to get out of here. I want to go home. You're not keeping me in the hospital. I don't care. One of the most annoying things about this is that nobody else in my group got sick. My husband didn't get sick, and my friend that was with us didn't get sick, but we all pretty much shared food and ate everything because, you know, we're all trying different things, trying new foods and sharing. It was overall super traumatic. And unfortunately, it left a really literal bad taste in my mouth from the whole country, which sucked because Peru is a really beautiful, really wonderful country. And that is one of the reasons why I will always have a puke bag with me anytime I travel, because you literally never know what's gonna happen.